All right. What's up, everybody? How's everybody going? Doing. Okay. So we got a new letter for tonight. And you guys, you really got to hear this letter. This letter especially goes out to the ladies that are 28 plus. Women that are dating men that are 37 and older. I would say more or less between the ages of 37 and 45. Ladies, these are the men you really want to watch out for. Men that are 37, between 37 and 45, because most of them have reached a level in their life where they'll pretend that they want a relationship, but they're more focused on their success. These are the men you really have to go in deep on and really, really qualify. They come across as successful and suave and they have it going on. But really, what's going on is they're more interested in furthering their life than being in a relationship. Okay, so let's get right into the letter. Here we go. Okay. I have been dating someone since January. We've been out 9 times, meaning they feel like dates. Movies, dinners, shows, karaoke, etc. He is adamant about leaving things unlabeled while agreeing that we're intimate only with each other. And he would be transparent if we were or we wanted to see other people. We both admit that we like each other enough that to stop seeing each other would be painful. I have told him that I want to be with someone who's ready to love again. And he's acknowledged that this isn't fair to my needs. What should I do? Take it day by day and maybe wait a few months until he figures things out? Or should I try and break things off, which I've tried unsuccessfully a few times now? How do I chill out while waiting for him without dating other people? I don't want to be with anyone else right now, but whenever he's doing his own thing or out with his friends, whom naturally I haven't met yet, I feel alone. I feel lonely and restless. Like, this is really wrong to waste my time waiting, but yet I really want to try and see where this goes, even if it hurts badly. Sometimes I don't know if I'm just used to unfulfilling relationships and therefore I'm allowing this to happen. This letter, ladies, when I first read this letter, I knew right away that the guy that she's talking to, that he was over the age of 37. Now, I usually go into my spiel about the 4 tools men use, and this man definitely uses them. That is the 4 tools men use to manipulate women. And those 4 tools are girlfriend vibes, consistency. There is, and you all got to forgive me, okay? I'm moving a little slow tonight. I had a really good meal tonight and it's keeping me a little off balance. But anyway, so The four tools again, okay? Girlfriend vibes, consistency, no label, and future flirting. Now, the reason why when I said I read this letter, I knew that this guy was over the age of 37, probably between 37 and 50, is because of how he is talking to her. He has been through a number of relationships and he knows the game. And this is the one thing, ladies, with men who are not serious about a relationship. They have a plan and they have a structured plan on what the relationship should be because they don't want commitment. And they usually set it up as early as they can. For example, she says right here, right? We've been out 9 times, meaning they feel like dates, movies, dinners, shows, karaoke, etc. But I want you to notice what comes next. She says he is very adamant about leaving things unlabeled. Now, that's just another word for saying he's very intense about getting that point across. That's what that really means. Now, notice that he's doing all the girlfriend vibes, and obviously he is consistent. Girlfriend vibes and consistency, they usually go along together. They've already been on 9 dates. He's doing the shows, movies, dinners, karaoke. But he's very adamant about leaving things unlabeled. And I want you to notice he is adamant about leaving things unlabeled while agreeing that we're intimate only with each other. So he wants the relationship, right? Without any expectations, any titles, but he wants everything else that comes with it, like intimacy. You cannot be with anyone else. We have to be exclusive, but I'm not giving you commitment. He's also transparent if we wanted to see other people, that we should let each other know. This is a real player, y'all. Because see, the deal is this. When you get into a relationship with someone that's serious about moving to the next level, you're not thinking about anyone else. The longer the relationship goes on, the more it progresses. It progresses. It progresses towards being exclusive because now you all are becoming closer to each other. So now you're only thinking about each other. For men, you have the vasopressin hormone going on. He becomes more protective. He starts pair bonding. For women, it's oxytocin. The same hormones that are produced to create a bond between a mother and a baby. Why is he thinking about being transparent? Because he has no interest or intent about being in a relationship that leads to marriage. He doesn't really care about commitment. He wants to have a great time. He wants to make sure that you're going to only have a great time with him, and it doesn't include being committed or you even being his girlfriend. And I want to show you how cold he is and why I say I knew right off the bat when I first started reading this letter that he was over 37. Let me show you. I have told him that I want to be with someone who is ready to love again. And he acknowledges that it isn't fair for my needs. But he's still doing it intentionally because he doesn't care about her needs. Obviously, they have had a conversation about love, being ready to love again. Because why would she mention that? I want to be with someone that's ready for love. Why couldn't she just say, I want to be with someone who is going to love me the way I want to be loved? Someone who wants love. Instead, she says, ready to love again. That's his game. He's playing the vulnerable card. I've been in love once before, and I don't know if I can do this a second time. But he's very adamant. What I also noticed too, ladies, and this is why it is so very important to qualify a man first. She's not really asking us for our advice on what she should do about the relationship. She's really asking us for our advice on how she can maintain the relationship or get him to see that she is valuable, that she's the one. Love me, be with me. And the reason why I say this is why it's very important to qualify a man is because if she had qualified him first and used the one question to end the guessing game that I always talk about, you can find it on my website. The reason why is because it would have told her what kind of future he's actually building. Notice, let me show you. She's not asking for our advice. She's already made up her mind and she's just going through it. Because she says here, what should I do? Take it day by day and maybe wait a few months until he figures things out? Does this sound like a man that's trying to figure things out? Adamant about no labels? Let's be transparent? Huh? Intimate with only each other? Or does that sound like a man that has a structure for a relationship? Okay? I don't want to be with anyone else right now. See how that works? She says things like, we both admit that we like each other enough that to stop seeing each other would be painful. Okay? I feel lonely and restless. Like this is really wrong to waste my time waiting. But yet, I really want to try and see where this goes, even if it hurts badly sometimes. Okay. The reason why I said I can tell that this guy's around 37 and up, okay? 37, 50. This is why. And this is from conversations. This is from my research and studies. The reason why I can say that, ladies, is this. Let me give you all a clue. Let me give you all a tea, as they say, on men. They try to make it seem like women are on a clock. Tick tock, right? You're on a clock. You better get married. Talking about kids, all this other stuff. That's the game that they play. But they don't tell you about us and the clock we operate under. This is what I want y'all to do tonight. I want y'all to go ahead and research the average age of when people get married. You'll notice that the age is around 30, 30.5, I think. Let's just say 30, 31. You want to know why? Because when a man reaches 33 years old, he starts thinking about 40. And he starts saying to himself, when I turn 40, I'm going to be an old man. Old man trying to get married, enough kids. That means when my kids finish college, I'm going to be grandpa. I'm going to be either almost 60 or about 60 years old. How am I going to be able to help them and do things? They'll be in their early 20s, if 20, and I'm getting ready to retire. See how that works? So when a man turns 37, ladies, let me let you know, he starts focusing on his career. Straight up. Because now he's thinking about money. He got to make that money because he about to be 40, and 40 is he's going to be an old man. And then what happens is he turns 40 and then he starts seeing like 40 really ain't that bad. I may have a couple gray hairs, but I feel great. I can still go to the gym. I could do certain things. I'm good. So then he starts living as if he's 30 years old. He starts living as if he's 25 years old. And then he reaches 45 and he starts thinking to himself, I'm 5 years away from being 50. Ooh. Now I'm 45. Slow your roll, bro. He starts pulling it back and he starts saying, you know what? I may have wasted some time on playing around with the ladies. I'm 45. I need to start getting serious about dating again if I don't want to die alone. So between that 37 years old and 45, 48, 45, 37, 45, he's not really serious about dating. Most of them. Got to give room for error, but most of them are not. Because he's thinking 37, almost 40. He thinks 45, going towards 50. He's like, slow my roll. I might want to get with someone because I don't want to die alone. But between 37 and 40 and 45, excuse me, I got to make this money. I feel, I'm almost 40 years old. I'm about to be old. And that's how I could tell. He's already been around the block a couple times. It says right here in her letter, because sometimes they usually put their ages. It says, I am a 47-year-old female, and he's a 48-year-old male. He's almost 50, ladies. He's already been through a couple rodeos. He knows the deal. He knows what emotional intelligence looks like because he's dated enough women. And so when he says, when they both say here, according to her, right? We both admit that we like each other enough that to stop seeing each other would be painful. What kind of pain are we talking about? A man that's not trying to commit to you. What kind of pain are we talking about, ladies? Real talk. As relationships progress, you're supposed to become closer to each other. You're supposed to want to be exclusive with each other. He wants exclusivity, but he wants it without commitment. He wants a relationship to be committed to him, but he doesn't want to be committed to it. He wants a wife with benefits, but he doesn't want the responsibilities that come with it. Namely, what I'm talking about is commitment. I mean, he's not even, some of these guys at least in giving the girlfriend vibes, they'll allow you to meet their friends and family, right? She's not even meeting his friends. Okay? I mean, she even talks about it here. Friends that he has that she hasn't been able to meet. He real tight with the game. But she's emotionally hooked because she didn't qualify him. She didn't qualify him based on what future he has planned for himself. What does that future look like? Because if she asks him what his future looks like, and she's probably scared, he's going to tell her. And it doesn't include her. She didn't qualify him on commitment, his ability and capacity to commit. What is he committed to? She didn't qualify him based on love. She just did what I find a lot of my clients do. They go into a relationship, they start having conversations, and they start opening up to men that have that masculine, that confident feel about them. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel protected. He's a good man. He's nice. And that's phase one. And they move right into phase two, which is they're looking for a deeper connection with him. Because he's already proven himself in phase one as being that protective, confident guy. And then they move right into phase three where they start projecting. They become attached and start projecting a future with him. I mean, she says 9 dates. If we're looking at 9 dates realistically, regular or average person. Average people are usually that are dating. They usually go out on dates like maybe once a week. That's just average. So if we're looking at 9 weeks, okay, that's 2 months and a week. They've been dating for about 2 months and a week, which if you do the math and you're looking at when I talk about men wanting to become exclusive, it's right around that 3-month mark. He's already going into month 3, knowing exactly who she is. He's already playing the game. This is why they both can say unequivocally, right, that we both admit that we like each other enough that to stop seeing each other would be painful. They've already crossed that line. Hasn't even been 3 months, ladies. This is what I'm saying. Don't take a man 3 months, y'all. This dude went into that relationship knowing exactly what he wanted. You can't be that adamant without knowing from day one that I don't want a relationship. You can't be that adamant about wanting to be only exclusive, right? When it comes to intimacy, without knowing that from day one. You can't be that adamant, y'all. You can't be that adamant about being transparent. That was a part of the plan. And so dragging her in emotionally down that rabbit hole, that was a part of the plan too. He says it. It's not fair. He acknowledges that this isn't fair to my needs. 2 months and a week in. Look how strong those feelings are running. So I just put up a book on my website. It's a free book. It's called Stop Dating Blind. And if you notice earlier, I just talked about the the three phases that women go through. Okay. That is attraction. That is the second phase. It's about an emotional connection. And the third phase is attachment and future projection. Get the book, ladies, because and it's free, by the way. I don't know how long it's going to be free, but for right now, it is free. Okay. Because it also breaks down the three phase loop that men who are not serious about relationships, the loop they become stuck in, and they do it intentionally because this loops keep them in a cycle of wanting wife benefits without husband responsibilities, basically without commitment, basically without becoming exclusive. Three phases that men go through, y'all. You need to read this book, ladies. If you're in a relationship now, if you are thinking about dating, this is a starter guide. It's very short. It's a chapter, it's what I call a chapter book. It's maybe like a 30-minute read, and it's free. Get it because it will break the man code, meaning that it will open your mind as to how men think that want to manipulate you. That way you could cut through the confusion, and you can cut through the BS and move right into to filtering out the clowns. Get yourself to a proper man, a man who wants a relationship, not one who wants to play game. You'll be able to read what phase he's in after you read this book. And also pick up how the one question to qualify him, because you want to qualify him within the first 3 dates. Because these guys, look at this guy right here. They know the game. And I especially urge women 28 plus. You got, please do this. Because most of you are independent women. You're doing your thing. You have your own place. You have your own bills and responsibilities. You're looking for a man that wants a serious relationship. And in these two books, you get the strategies that's going to help you do that. She went through the three phases, y'all. I mean, this guy's what, as they say, 48-year-old male, right? So he probably has some stuff going on. He's probably, like I said, this is not his first rodeo as far as relationships. Also, he's probably established in his career. So he got a bit of swag, a bit of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Might even have a few grays, right? Give him that distinguished classic look, as they say, right? Gray Fox, whatever that is, right? Okay. Start talking to him. Very confident, very relaxed. You feel safe, you feel secure. He gives you that protective spirit. You're doing what most women do on a date, on average. During the first 3 dates, you're just chopping it up, feeling out each other, trying to judge his character based on his past relationships. So now he can lie because you have no way of verifying what he's saying, because you can't go ahead and talk to Becky. You can't go ahead and talk to Keisha. You understand? Mei Ling, Maria. So he's chopping it up, and he's not painting himself like a villain. He's the hero of the story, right? Now you begin to open up. Those wounds that you carried from your last relationship, they start surfacing to the top, reopening them. and he's there to support you and soothe you and, comfort you. And this is what most women do in relationships. And it's natural because we're talking about dating here. You're going out on a date. What is a date? A relationship. So to talk about relationship matters is not unnatural to do. So you start opening up. Most women, because of their emotional intelligence, they bond through conversations. So you're having conversations with a man you feel safe and secure with. Now you feel seen. Now you move into the stage two. I'm sorry, phase two. Okay? Which is an emotional connection. It's making a connection. It's phase three. You start attaching yourself. Whereas with a man, if you go through the three phases, go download the book. It's free, or read up on it. Because I go into some real intimate details about it. He is still in that physical, visual, sensual, sexual attraction within those first three phases. Don't want to give away too much, but anyway, the basis of the book and the relationships is you two are misaligned because most women, they don't know how to break the man's code. And they're dating to get to know a man first. They don't want to scare him off. Don't want to come across as if I'm interrogating him. And I get it. But do you want to end up like this lady right here? Hmm? After the fact, now she's in the relationship and hurting. Feel what I'm saying? I have told him that I want to be with someone who is ready to love again. That's not an ordinary conversation to have. If you're dating a man that's interested in a relationship, that's not the conversation you have, y'all. Most times, the conversation you have goes along the lines of, are you seeing anyone else? How soon do you want to be in a committed relationship? What do you think about going exclusive? Yeah. Nah. My man right here, he is a player. Like I said, I knew he was in his 40s. I did the research. I talked to a lot of men, 37 plus. Talked to a lot of ladies too that are dating these men. Done the research, y'all. I knew he was over 37. I knew it. He has too much experience. And he doesn't want to jeopardize his future. And like I said, she's not interested in getting our advice. Not really. Not really. Not our advice as far as what she should do. She's more interested in staying in that relationship because she sees so much potential, so much good. And at that age, men usually have it going on. They've worked, they've done the work, they're reaping the benefits. But what she's not seeing is how straightforward he is. But she's not seeing how he has laid the structure of the relationship. He's given her the structure. If you find yourself wanting to be with someone else, let's be transparent. Because see, he knows that after so many months of this kind of relationship, she's going to get it at some point. She's going to feel hurt and start talking to someone else. So he knows he's opening up the door already. I mean, they've only been in a relationship 2 months and a week, and this is the conversation they're having. See how quickly that rolls around? And this goes right along with my hypothesis of after that 2 month mark, going into that 3 month mark, you know enough about each other. Those hormones that make you feel so much in love and get you attached and bonding with a man, they start to come down and you start to see the reality of the relationship. I did a video of this before, talking about, vasopressin and oxytocin and so on and so on. How after a while they come down. And so now you could start thinking clearly. You start looking at the relationship and start asking questions like, where are we going? Hmm. But see how real slick he is? He laid the groundwork. If you want to be transparent, I want to be Why? I want to be transparent with you. I want to be transparent with you. If let me see if I could find that. Here it is, right? Okay. He's adamant about leaving things unlabeled while agreeing that we're intimate only with each other and would be transparent if we wanted to see other people. This really breaks my heart here, y'all. Get the books, y'all. Stop dating blind. And get that one question that ends the guessing game. And get it because it's going to give you insight, not just these tricks and tips and recycle dating advice. No, because that's not me. It's going to actually give you strategies, meaning that it's going to give you insight into how to read a man, how to decode his intentions, to see the patterns, to see the habits that he's creating, to see the routine, see what he's actually doing. Read what he's actually saying to you by his actions, not just his words, ladies. He's telling you a lot of stuff. It's around that 3 month mark. He's already created routines, habits, and actions that support his decision, the decision he's made. From the first time a man sees you, ladies, he is pre-qualifying you. And he's pre-qualifying you for something. Men go through 2 evaluations. Men evaluate a woman in the first phase, and then men evaluate women again in the 4th phase. It takes a whole nother 3 phase before a man seriously evaluates a woman. Because at that point, he's thinking relationship. He's thinking compatibility. But the pre-evaluation, this is really more of a physical, visual nature. Attraction, physical attraction. Just turns on the lights. This is not in depth. Are we compatible? Do we share the same values? Do we have the same perspectives on life? Takes another 4 phases to get to that. Now, some men move through it quickly, and that's the men who coming into the relationship, their intentions is marriage, to be in a committed relationship. Those are the guys that move real pretty quickly. Those are the guys that within the first 2 months you get clarity as to who you are, where you're at in the relationship, and where you're going. Those are the guys right off the bat. He sees you're the your wife material. He wants to take you off the market. So he introduces clarity. I'd like to be exclusive. I he don't want the competition. I want Malik and what Henrique Lee, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. We do not want this cat in the picture, y'all. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, talking about engagement. I said, why do you think men get engaged? Why do you think men get engaged? Hmm? Because they want to tell you that I'm serious about marrying you. No, y'all. That is not it. They want to make a big display and show of their love for you. No. If they wanted to do that, rather than spending money on this big engagement party and going through all this stuff and the ring, they would save that money for the wedding. That's not why a man is getting engaged to you. He's getting engaged to you because he's taking you off the market while he works on building himself and, yeah, saving for the wedding. But while he's getting himself ready for marriage, while he's continuing to go deeper into the woman you are, to be sure that we're compatible, we're a good fit for marriage. Because not everyone who gets engaged gets married. Think about it. So what is he actually doing? What is he actually doing, y'all? He's vetting you further while taking you off the market. If this was just about marriage, why need an engagement? We just go right down to the courthouse, or we could make arrangement with Padre, Father, the priest, the Reverend, Bishop. We do this right now. Bishop not gonna have a problem. This is a man that's serious about marriage. Let's go ahead, bring him to the altar, family, witnesses, so on and so on, bless and pray and all that. Let's get it on. You gotta have all that engagement, spending all that money, doing all that stuff, got this big ring. You gotta do all that. I could give you that big ring at the ceremony. Here, let me slip on the engagement ring, that nice size rock, and now let me slip on that wedding band. Or we just make it a big rock on a wedding band. Do that too. No, it's not why he's getting engaged. He's taking you off the market while he further vets you. These are men that are serious. Got time for the jokes. Running all this confusion. I don't believe in labels. Let's see where it goes. I'm confused. This is a grown man, and he confused. If he confused, you might want to think a bit, think more closely about if you should move on further with him in this relationship. I'm just saying, y'all. I know I'm clowning and stuff like this to some degree, but uh like just real talk, y'all. Yeah, like Kia said, some women get a shut up ring. That's a good one. He's probably looking for his wife, and it's just not her, Rochelle. For the right woman to him, he'll probably throw the games out of the window. Poor girl. Yeah. You have to change the way you date, y'all. You have to change. Get the books. Get the books. They're on my website. I'm also doing one-on-one consultation. I call it a clarity session because we sit down and we get clarity of where you're at. We get clarity on what you actually want before going to the next step. I believe in strategy. I come from an architectural background. I have an architectural degree, project architect, project manager, so on and so on. Various firms here in and around Atlanta. So I believe in a strategy. I've had to create strategies. Very painstaking, especially in architecture. I mean, you're sitting there sometimes, you're looking at hundreds of pages, hundreds of, oh Lord, hundreds of pages of documents because the average architect gets sued at least twice within their lifetime. At least. This isn't a maybe. This is what's happening, y'all. Straight real talk. So you're constantly looking at paperwork because you want to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. So moving into this space, a space I love, I look at it from a standpoint of observation and strategy. Strategy to get the best results, which means that these strategies have to include ways of protecting yourself, seeing what's coming, seeing what's ahead, what's in the future. And this is why I come from the standpoint of strategy, rather than just copying a guru, what he says, and going viral and stuff. I've had some of that experience as well, and then I started looking back and seeing stuff like, you know, as long as he's consistent, he plans dates. Okay, as long as he's consistent and he plans dates and he executes on the dates, he's a trying man. You got a good man. That's BS. Do you do you know how many players adopt that same rule, y'all? Hmm? Do you know how many players adopt that same rule? That's why I say consistency. Because consistency mimics commitment. It looks like commitment. If I can be consistent with you in a relationship, it comes across as if I'm serious about the relationship because I'm consistently doing things. I'm consistently here. I consistently call you, text you, take you out, comfort you, soothe you. We build routines. On the weekends, you sleep over at my place. Every other weekend, I sleep over at your place. We're walking the dog together. Oh, Lord. Hi, Rochelle. What is your strategy? What is my strategy? You mean me personally, or you're saying strategy for women? Break that down for me. My personal strategy. My personal strategy when it comes to dating. Believe it or not, I use my one question to end the guessing game. Haha. Men can actually use that one question as well, because these questions forces a person to prove their words with their actions, because that is the true measure of commitment. That is the true measure of love. That is the true measure of how you can tell a man is serious and can create a future, by testing their actions. And in that chapter book, it gives you one question that you can ask that covers these three things. And it doesn't come across as an interrogation. So I'm originally from the Bahamas. I wanted to see my mom last year. And I remember meeting this lady on the plane. And, we just talking, so on and so on. And, I was telling her what I do. You know, I'm in relationships, love, and dating, right? Excuse me. And as we were talking, y'all, I dropped that one question on her. Woo! I dropped that one question on her, and she couldn't stop. For the flight was about a hour and a half, almost 2 hours, an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. She couldn't stop talking. And I was right there listening and checking off. Boom, 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 boom. Because I could read everything she was saying based on that. She couldn't stop talking. This question gets the other person talking, y'all. And all the while you are qualifying them and they don't even know. And she's an entrepreneur. I guess you could say a boss chick, right? But we had an amazing conversation just based on that one question. So that's that's what I do, Rochelle. I qualify them first based on that one question. Because it's very well structured and they don't even know. Doesn't get into all this stuff about wounds and what happened in your past relationship, how did it end? What are you looking for? No. You want to get a handle on who you're dealing with, who they are when it comes to love, who they are when it comes to commitment, who they are when it comes to can they create a future? Because these things are the foundation of a successful relationship. Truly. Well, ladies, I'm running out of time. And I must say, tonight was really, really a good conversation. So the next time you talk to a man, get his age. And if he's like 37, you want to be extra careful. 37 and above, y'all. Extra careful. Get the book, Stop Dating Blind. It is free. It's on my website. Okay. I'm going to put my website here. Okay. And that is, oops, let me turn off the caps. Moromance.love. And again, I'm offering one-on-one counseling. Yeah. It's time, y'all. If you want a worthwhile relationship, a serious relationship, a relationship with a man that shares the same values, morals, and principles that you do, a man of integrity, I really want you all to go to my website and see what I have. Because some of my resources are free. And trust me, I have people telling me all the time, some of these free resources, including my agent, stop giving away stuff away for free, Phoenix, because some of the things you're giving away, you're literally answering their questions and they won't be back. But these things are going to protect you. They're going to really give you insights into reading men by seeing their patterns, give you insight in how they think. But okay, ladies, so I am out. It was a great conversation today. And thank you all again. Have a beautiful night. And remember, I have moved to my Facebook group. Okay. In fact, let me go ahead and put that in the chat as well. I have a Facebook group. Um, hold on. Let me go ahead and grab that link. It is a private group, so you have to apply. And trust and believe, not everybody's getting in. Because I've seen some people apply, they don't answer the questions. There's only 3 questions, y'all. They don't answer the question. And I'm sorry, y'all. I put those questions in there because I want to know who is serious about a relationship. I'm not playing. I'm not playing with this. There is the link. Um, and what I like about the Facebook group, you could be anonymous, and it doesn't have the restrictions that social media platforms have. Also, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe so that you could get the latest notifications on when I go live or just anything I'm doing. Thanks again, y'all, and good night for the last time.